Conference League qualifiers have finished. Let's just check how these other Icelandic teams got on. HK, oh, they've blown it. Oh no, and Breidablik are still awful. Right, boys, just us left on our own again. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 50 of Husavik Heroes here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and coming up in today's episode we take on Red Star Belgrade over 2 legs in the third qualifying round of the Champions Path of the Champions League. So if you are looking forward to this one, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But we start off today's episode with something that I should have covered off in the last one at the end of last week. If you did miss that episode, the second qualifying round where we did take on Astana, I will leave a link for that above my head in the top right corner, but on screen. Didn't cover this off as I said, but probably should have. Unfortunately, bad news. The 2 Icelandic teams that did make their way through to the second qualifying round of the Conference League have now both gone out. We are the only team in Iceland at this stage of qualifying yet again. HK actually did a pretty good job in the first league there against AZ, as you can see there on the top line, but did lose the second league 4-1, going out 5-3 on aggregate. Not a terribly surprising result that, but after the first league did have my hopes up just a little bit. But meanwhile, Breidablik, bottom of the league, and they are toilet. They got beaten 2-0 in the second league after getting a draw in the first one against Asteros Tripolis of Greece. So we are the only Icelandic team left in Europe this season, and hopefully we can go one step better than last year and win the Champions League playoff. But to do that, we do need to beat today's opposition, Red Star Belgrade. I said in the last episode that this is the first time we've meeting a past Champions League winner in qualifying. I actually think it's the first time we've played a past Champions League winner at all in the save, albeit their Champions League was back in 1991. It's been a long time since they've won anything of significance in Europe. They made their way past Sheriff in the last round. They won the first league 3-0, lost the second league away from home 1-0, but went through 3-1 on aggregate. So did that fairly comfortably. It'll be interesting to see how we do get on against these guys. The first league, yet again, is away from home for us. That means that the second league, which could be oh so important, is back at our home ground, and I would really like to get through this because we have actually had the draw for the Champions League playoff already, and if we can get past Red Star, I think it is quite a kind draw, because as you can see on screen, we will be taking on the winner of either Bate Borisov or Sparta Prague. We know from last season that we are a lot better than Bate Borisov. We bet those guys 7-0 on aggregate in the first knockout round of the Conference League. So if we match up against those guys, I would be very confident of making our way into the Champions League group stage for the first time. But even so, Sparta Prague, that looks like a team that we could take on. We've dodged some fairly decent teams in that draw, so this looks like a pretty good chance for us to make it into the group stages of the Champions League this season. We've had a pretty kind draw up until now. Will be interesting to see if we can finish the job here in these next 2 episodes. And speaking of Red Star, we have actually just signed a player from them leading into this game as well. He's not going to join us until 2027 because he is a youngster, but our scouts do quite like him. And that player is Milos Petrovic. He is a right back, so another good promising right back coming to the club. 2-star current ability, does have 4.5/5-star potential, so he is a player that we decide that we would use the rest of our transfer budget from this season on. We have spent 1 million up front for him. There's about a potential another 3 million in add-ons, which I know is a big sum of money for a club like ours, but we decide that we get in before some other clubs might discover that he is quite a good player, only playing for Red Stars under 19s, but he has quite a bit of potential, and he will be joining us at the start of the February transfer window in 2027. We have to wait until he turns 18 years old, but he is a good, promising player who will be joining the club in a few years' time, and that pretty much counts for our transfer budget for this season, now down to £109,000, and we've got 7.5 £800,000 of wage budget left. So that's pretty much all the transfers that we will be doing now of young players until we do complete the domestic season. But since yesterday's episode, we have played the one game domestically since then, and it was against the Breidablik team who had just got knocked out of Conference League qualifiers, and we got off to an absolute flyer in this game. 23 seconds gone when Fredrik Larsson got the first goal of the game, the assist there to Rubio, and only 9 minutes later we made it 2-0. Bonnet and then Gavioli just rockets one into the top right corner, and we were 2-0 up nice and early. That was also the half-time score, but 5 minutes into the second half, we did extend our lead. Prada puts a ball in, and Larsson is there at the far post to get himself a double. 3-0 nice and early in the second half, and then we grabbed a couple of goals in injury time. Larsson on a hat-trick puts that back for Carlo, and Swiderski, his header comes off the post, but Ledson comes off the bench to get a goal. And then right on the brink of the final whistle, we made it a 5-0 thrashing over the team that did offer us a job interview in the last episode. Swiderski with the header there, Ian Carlo with an assist, and we pick up a very, very comfortable 5-0 win with our rotation team. So that's a really good win considering how strong Breidablik were supposed to be according to the season preview this season. We do now have a good advantage over them when we do take them on head-to-head in the midfield. There you can see Flavio Trubia only picking up a 6.5 average rating, which compared to the rest of the team, not too bad for the former player that we did have here at Völsungur for pretty much just one season before the board did sell him from under our noses. But what that means for the domestic league going into these Champions League qualifiers and the Molkebikkeren quarterfinal in between the games in today's episode is that we are still on top, still yet to drop any points, and 13 points clear of HK with a game in hand. We only need 11 more points, I think it is, to secure the title, and we have 9 games left to do that. We are absolutely cakewalking the league, so we won't focus on that too much on camera throughout the rest of the season. I think we'll focus more on Europe, and hopefully we can get the job done here against Red Star in this third qualifying round of the Champions League, and we'll come back shortly from the Rajko Milic for the first leg. And here are the team sheets for this game. Looking at Red Star down the left-hand side, no overly familiar names in their team by the looks of it. So hopefully they're a team that are beatable. We can at least pick up a decent result here to take into the second league at our home ground. In terms of us, the big change comes on the right wing. Wilson Isidore starting after Patrick Nygaard did pick up that big injury in the last episode. It also means that Fredrik Larsson makes his way onto the bench. Those two are probably fighting for that starting spot now that Nygaard is out, because I'm not too sure which of those players is actually better these days. Wilson Isidore just dropping down the pecking order quite a bit since we did introduce both Nygaard and Larsson, and Arnason can also cover that position, but that is the one change that we have made to the starting lineup. Also on the bench, our midfield options for this game are Arnason and Gavioli, and hopefully we can get a decent result to take into that home league. 1 minute gone, the first highlight of this game is underway. We are in the green Northern Lights uniform, Red Star in the red and white, and we just look to play out from the back here early. Gautason trying to pick out Pedro, but there's no one there to support him, and Red Star get in behind our defence there. It's a poor attempted header from Coutinho, and that is a very good save early yet again from Sarah Fellini, reminding us of what happened early in the last episode against the Star. They put the corner in, we do deal with it safely. Bjarkason should be winning the race to the ball. The highlight cuts off, but a good early chance there for Red Star, but it remains 0-0. 10 minutes gone, and the next highlight is Red Star in possession. Yet again, looks like these guys might be a bit more challenging than the past two teams we have faced in European qualifying so far. Isidore was on the ball there briefly for us, but a loose first touch, and that's a nice ball over the top there for Nikola Zevic, and he puts it away, and we go 1-0 down early in this game. It was probably fortunate that didn't happen very early on. A good save from Sarah Fellini yet again, but that time it's a really nice finish that into the top right corner. They are doing us here on this right-hand side of our defence. He's just got too much pace, it looks like here. Nikola Zevic, it's a very nice finish, and we go 1-0 down early in the away leg. 22 minutes gone, and Red Star have possession yet again. It is the goal scorer here down their left-hand side. They are looking pretty good so far in this game, dominating things. We are yet to have a shot on target. That one comes off the post for Red Star from that far post header. They are all over us early doors in this game, and it does remain 1-0 to them just past halfway through the first half, although now it is a goal kick to Red Star. Hopefully we can put some pressure on them here as they do look to play out from the back. We do have a few players up front on yellow cards, which might not help us trying to do that, try and get the ball nice and high up the pitch, albeit better than having defenders on yellow cards, both Bjarkason and Pedro easing off tackles at the moment. But we do get the ball back there and look to get something going really for the first time of note in this game. Bjarkason tries to switch that out to Isidori, just controls that nicely. Coutinho, what can he do here? Down the right-hand side, can we draw level before half-time? Puts the ball into the mixer, it's a header there. Not quite sure who that was, but it just goes wide, and it does remain 1-0, approaching the half-hour mark. Late highlight here in the first half. Yet again, Red Star were on the ball, but Swiderski there with the interception, and Pedro tries to slot Isidore through from a long way out. It's a little bit of a tame shot there. Gordich with a pretty safe save. The highlight does cut off, and it looks like it is going to be 1-0 Red Star here at halftime. Create a few chances late in that half, which is promising, but for the first half hour or so, that was pretty dire stuff from us. It has to be said, and I think we're going to be forced into a few substitutions here. Both of our wingers are not performing well, so what I think we're going to do here is bring Arnason on for Isidore, seeing as he can only cover the right wing, and Larson can come onto the left wing for Bjarkason on a yellow card. So we're going to have to make two changes here at halftime just to wake the boys up, because not going too well for us at the moment. 1-0 down after 45 minutes in the first leg. 59 minutes gone. It's a free kick here for Red Star. Header at the far post, just over the bar. We are still on the back foot in this game. 1-0 down at the hour mark. 66 minutes gone. Red Star on the attack yet again. The goal scorer makes his way down the left wing. Tries to put that into the mixer. Nicolucci Caviglia tries to get that ball back for us. Nearly does, but they do keep possession. Nikolic with a shot and forces a good save there out of Serafellini in goal. Yet again, Red Star definitely giving us a lot to think about in this away leg. We're probably fortunate that we're not down by more at this stage. We do clear that header. It does remain 1-0 Red Star at the 68-minute mark. And I think we're going to make our last substitution at this stage. Swiderski down to a red heart, but is actually playing quite well. So what I think we're going to do here is take off João Pedro up front on a yellow card. Benjamin Rubio is pretty similar to him. He's a good striker. We will try him out for the last 20 or so minutes of this game and hopefully pick up an equalising goal to take into the home league. And not long off the back of that substitution, it is a throw-in here for us inside the final third. Larson puts it into the mixer. It falls to Arnason. It's a shocker from the Red Star goalkeeper, but it comes off the upright. That might be our chance. Still 1-0 down. 79 minutes gone. We have a throw-in on the halfway line. We have upped our tempo for these last 15 minutes just to try and create a few more chances to try and get this game to all square. Nicolucci Caviglia shot. Oh, it falls to Larson. It's an absolute gimme. The higher tempo does pay off. Not too sure if that's exactly what helped us to get that goal, but we do get one. It's a little bit of a fluky one. Nicolucci Caviglia with the initial shot. Luckily, though, Larson is running a really good support line. The goalkeeper just parries it straight into his path. And despite being on the back foot for most of this game, we get it to 1-1 with 10 minutes left. And coming into injury time in this game, we have 5 added minutes. But considering how things have gone in this game, not too disappointed to have a 1-1 draw to take into the home league. That is the final result. That late goal to Larson could prove oh so important based on what we saw there. It was a very even game in the end. We did slightly overperform them XG-wise, less shots on target, but that chance that we did have was an absolute gimme. Luckily, we did take it, and we will take that 1-1 draw, I think, into the home league. Hopefully, we can put out a bit of a better performance in front of our fans at our home, away from home. But as I said, that's not too bad a result, I think, considering how that match was going for the most part until we did grab that equaliser in the last 10 minutes. And we will come back shortly with that second leg and see if we can get the job done at our home ground. And team sheets for the second leg, not too sure if Red Star have made that many changes. They've made 3 changes since their last game, but that might have been domestically, so not too sure if that's the same lineup, but still no names there that look too threatening based on what I've seen in this game so far. In terms of us, we have made the one change, and that is that Larson is going to start over Isidore on the right wing, and Ledsong comes onto the bench in place of Larson, seeing as he can cover both wings. So we have completely dropped Isidore out of this squad. Just didn't quite perform as well as I was hoping he would in that first leg, and Larson did come off the bench and get that goal. Pretty easy one, but it was still a goal. So we'll just make that one change in the starting 11 and hopefully do a little bit better here in the home league and make our way through to that Champions League playoff. And that is half time. In the second leg, there have been no highlights. We have been dominating things, which is nice. A few players out there who are struggling of more note. The only thing really that's been happening so far in this game is I've been keeping an eye on the scores in the bottom left corner, and Sparta Prague are beating Bate 5-0. So I think we can pretty safely say the winner of this tie will be taking on Sparta Prague. Will make two changes. Those two players on 6.4 ratings can come off for Carlo and Ledson, and hopefully we get a bit more action in the second half. 45 minutes left, and it is all to play for. Still locked up at 1-1. 48 minutes gone, and we do have our first highlight of the game nice and early here in the second half. Can we take the lead from this lovely ball for Larson? Can he get another goal? Hits it straight at the goalkeeper. Big chance, and it does remain 0-0 on the day, 1-1 on aggregate. And 55 minutes gone now, we have our next highlight. Looks like there's a bit more happening here in the second half. We were pressing Red Star quite high up there when they were in possession. They give the ball straight to Mbiamba. We look to get something going here, dominating this thing stats-wise, but no reward for it so far. Lovely run from Nicolosi Caviglia. He missed the chance in the first game, fell very kindly to Larson, but tucks that away, and we finally have some reward for our dominance. And with 35 minutes left, we are 2-1 up in the second leg and could be making our way through yet again to that Champions League playoff. Good finish there into the bottom right corner. I do love how our midfielders make those good cutting runs with this tactic, and we get the advantage with just over a half hour left. And up to the 72-minute mark, more or less, we're going to make our last substitution here. Nothing's happened since we got that goal that put us in the lead, but Sviderski is down to a red heart, so Arnason can come on for him. 18 minutes and injury time left to hold on to this advantage. And approaching the last 5 minutes of this game plus injury time, we are going to start time wasting just a little bit. Tell the boys to not be quite so expressive out there and see if we can hold on. Nothing has really happened in this game too much apart from those two highlights early in this half. Luckily, one of those was the goal for Nicolosi Caviglia. Can we hold on? 1 minute left of injury time. It's been a good performance, and we sneak our way through to the Champions League playoff yet again. That is one of the toughest games that we have had in all of European qualifying so far, but thankfully we did get that goal late in that away leg through Frederick Larson, and Nicolosi Caviglia, the captain, picks one up in the second half, and that is what sees us through to the Champions League playoff. In tomorrow's episode, we will come back shortly, show you guys highlights from our Mulka-Bickerin quarter-final, and reveal who we will be playing in that playoff in tomorrow's episode. And here are the highlights from the Cup quarter-final against second tier after Ralding at our home ground. Took us a little while to get going in this game, but Benjamin Rubio opened the scoring there on the 24-minute mark to give us an advantage. And then just after halftime, Wilson Isidore just gets enough on that header to get it past the hands of the goalkeeper, just makes its way inside the net, and we do go 2-0 up. Not long off the back of that, Arnason running onto that ball from Gavioli to put us 3-0 up here with this rotation team. And then with 12 minutes left, a free kick, Kirkshaw there with the header into the top right corner. We pick up, in the end, a pretty comfortable 4-0 win. You can see there on the right-hand side of the notable events that after Ralding picked up a bunch of yellow cards. We'll just have a quick count here, but that's 7 already. That's 11 yellow cards. So they got one for each of their players, 28 fouls to 3. So that's how they tried to slow that game down early on, but we still were able to overcome them pretty comfortably and make our way through to the Mulka-Bickerin semi-final. Potentially, we can make it a quadruple winning season here at Völsungur, having already picked up the Super Cup and the League Cup earlier in the season, and in a very good position to win the league already with still 9 games left in our season. In terms of who we are going to be playing in tomorrow's episode, we make our way over to the inbox. We get a nice few collects off making the Champions League playoff, but we are taking on Sparta Prague. Wasn't really in too much doubt considering the update I did give you guys at halftime in that second leg, but they did win their tie very comfortably, and we are taking on the Czech Republic team in our next game to try and make our way into the Champions League group stage for the first time in this save. Hopefully, we can go one step further than last year when we did lose this game and made our way down to the group stages of the Europa League. But what that win over Red Star does mean is that is the worst that we can do now, matching what we did last year in the Europa League if we cannot get the job done in tomorrow's episode. Having a quick look at their team yet again, not too many names there that pop out at me as being superb players in this save. So I'm hoping we can go one further than we did in last season's Champions League playoff. And we do have a little bit of a break heading into that game. You can see they've got a game 3 days before we jump straight into that game off the back of this one, which is very nice. And in case you were wondering, we are taking on Fjolnir from the second division in the Mulkabikaran semi-final. It's a tie that we should be winning against opposition a tier below us, albeit they did win the cup the year that we weren't in it back in 2023. But that will do it for today's episode, making our way through to the Champions League playoff for the second season in a row. If you did enjoy it, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, hopefully we make our way into the Champions League proper for the first time in this save, taking on Sparta Prague over 2 legs. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.